Hey, long time no see. How's it going? Oh, yeah, okay, the microphone is on. Yeah. How's Sorry, I forgot. Where are you right now? In Taiwan. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Because I think you were actually I can't remember anymore. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, yeah. How's I guess how's the weather? The weather, like, I'm gonna stay in what do you call it? I'm gonna stay in the office tonight because um yeah, the it's raining pretty bad today, so it's hot. Okay, well, yeah, that's kind of annoying in its own way. Yeah, no, I'm just working in the in the lab, at least until I didn't apply this time around, so I'm gonna apply next application cycle, see if I can get into grad school. I can't listen with that, or I can't talk with this playing. And then yeah, yeah, yeah. So just more lab work, as usual. Nothing seems to go well. Yeah, we just got a new objective installed in our experiment, and the instructions, they said it would be hard to set up. They were like, oh, it's gonna take a little bit to get everything calibrated, but yeah, it's definitely taking more than a minute. Yeah. Yeah, so I was just doing that until earlier. Yeah, yeah, and actually, I think you left at right around the right time for in terms of getting out of Berkeley, because in the past maybe month there have been wait, have you do you st- do you, does your email still work? Do you still get like Berkeley warn me's? Because I feel like the past month there have been like more uh definitely more warn me's, but okay, yeah, okay, so the Reddit basically, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I keep missing everything, all the fun stuff seems to happen during the day when I'm in the lab. So I've actually missed kind of all the crazy stuff that's going on, but yeah, like, yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It seems like there have been way more warnings than got. How's the crazy thing? Oh, Scully, welcome back. Um, yeah, yeah. So I didn't see it. The person, I didn't actually see the person, but the crazy thing is I didn't notice that. I didn't read that warn me until like the evening that day. So I had gone out to get get some takeout just because that was another day I was just staying in the lab, and I noticed on the sidewalk there was like a burn mark, and I was like, oh, that's so strange. And then I ended up watching the video, and like it was like the burn mark was the dude, and I was like, or where the dude was standing for part of the video, and I was like, holy shit, like yeah, 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 it's Berkeley. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Um, I mean, it does seem like every semester there's at least one crazy thing. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this was the crazy thing of this semester. Yeah, from mainland friend. Yeah, yeah. The Wild West, the lawless land that is Berkeley. Uh, Sculmy, did you see the thing? I shouldn't laugh because guy actually died. But the Berkeley guy who set him on fire, yeah, or set himself on fire. Yeah, that was. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, what? I mean, what can you do? I don't know. Like, threw a bike at him. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So I wasn't quite clear on why the guy threw the bike. Was that just to like get him to like, you know, like just get him on the ground somehow. I do remember seeing that video and thinking, damn, that is like a weak ass throw. I shouldn't laugh, of course, but yeah, that was, yeah. And there was also, I don't know if you saw the most recent one, but in addition to what do you call it? In addition to the guy that set himself on fire, there was a burglary at one of the dorms, and I heard it ended up turning into a car chase until it got to the freeway, and I guess they just kind of let them go. So there was well, sorry, it wasn't a burglary. It was a mugging. It was a burglary plus mugging in broad daylight. So I did hear the police cars from that. Those are old. I think it was Unit 2, so it wasn't our place. But let's see. So that was like, I don't know, like the second or third mugging this semester. What else was there? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, was it? I don't remember if it was this semester, but there was also the dead body they found in like the what do you call it? The part of campus, or that, yeah, the one that they don't use anymore. What? Yeah, that one. Yeah, like I think that was this semester. But yeah, Berkeley, crazy. I don't know. I think Berkeley is a good example of how, you know, if enough crazy stuff happens, then it just gets kind of normalized. California, I don't know about California as a whole, but Berkeley specifically, yeah, definitely. I think California as a whole is probably a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, on the north side. Oh, it was that part. Okay, yeah. I didn't end up really Googling how specific, or any of the specifics of the incident, just because the Warn Me didn't say anything. And I know Reddit was speculating, but I was like, I don't care that much. Um, so, yeah. Okay, it was over there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never really been over there, so more media. Oh yeah, sounds good on YouTube, right? Yeah. Cool, sounds good. Scare bus. Scare. Did I graduate? I actually, you know, that's, yeah. Actually, I did graduate. Thanks. So actually, funny thing about that though. So I was on academic probation because that last semester that I didn't. Thanks. Yeah. So the funny thing about that, I ended up finding a weird, maybe not a weird, but kind of an edge case with academic probation. So you know how, so that last semester, I was up. Yes, I was on or I got a below the GPA, the semester GPA you need to maintain to not be to be, what do you call it, in good. I got below the GPA requirement to be in good standing. So the semester that I retook that one class, I was on academic probation, which is fine, you know, because I had to take the class for a grade anyway. So, and that's really all academic probation says. The problem was I got a C minus, and the whole academic probation thing is that you need greater than a 2.0 semester GPA to get off of academic probation. So I was in this weird situation where I didn't clear academic probation, but I fulfilled my last graduation requirement. So I had to contact, what do you call it? I had to contact the to admin and be like, yeah, so what does this mean? Because, you know, last semester was the semester with the strike, right? So I was actually on track to get like a, you know, pretty just, I think I was on track to get a B, to be honest, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. I just, as long as I don't have to pay tuition anymore. So it was kind of a funny situation where it was like, yeah, so I don't need I don't need any more semesters, but does academic probation interfere with graduation? So it's kind of an awkward situation, right? So it turns out it's actually totally like fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's like it's not, you know, a disaster, right? I still graduate. It's just if I needed an extra semester, I would have been fucked. so, so it turned out being fine, but it was just kind of a funny edge case where it's like, yeah, I graduate on academic probation, totally. so, so I did graduate though, so I don't have to pay tuition anymore. Yay! Go to grad? No, man. I was like, my parents were like, "Why didn't you invite us?" And I was like, "You wanted to go again?" Like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So there was that, and yeah. I mean, you know, maybe it would have been better in the sense that it would have been a smaller turnout. You know, so it'd been probably a little bit smaller and maybe nicer in that regard. But I was like, man, I don't. You know, it's too much extra work. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I graduated. I'm chilling. I finally got to go to a conference because you know I finally have time. So a few weeks ago I went to the Biophysical Society conference. So which was fun. There was a lot of walking, but I mean, you know, kind of I mentally kind of treated it like it would be. You know, I kind of assumed it would be like a you know like a convention. So so it was fine. Yeah. Airbus. Although I heard the more like the really new Airbuses are actually pretty comfortable. Is that, well? At least that's what I heard. I don't know. I've heard about that about comfort. I don't know anything else about Airbus. Um, yeah. Although I heard, but yeah. So I heard they were a little sketch before. I don't know if it's sketch, a little sketch or a lot sketch, but I thought, or my impression was that, or at least what I heard was that they it's about the same. Okay, yeah, I mean, you know, uh, some well, I mean, although actually no, I've seen the Airbus. What is it called? The really weird shaped Airbus that like that's designed to like haul the components. Like the funny one with like the funny tip, like the funny like front like tip. I've seen those before. Those are hilarious. Although I guess Boeing has one for their own equipment too, right? So I guess it's probably just more standard hardware that these you know, what do you call these companies need to have, but it's so funny shaped. uh 370, is that the one that Boeing retrofitted with like, I can't remember if they like retrofitted with like, I feel like it was like the engines were retrofitted, but they're the ones that the one that they fucked up. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think yeah. That one I do know about. I'm not really that familiar with planes, but that I heard a lot about. So um control. I I don't remember the details, sorry, but okay, yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, I mean, you know, it's, although the other day I had to, or actually just because of the conference and, you know, just some other stuff, I did a lot of flying in the past few months, and I don't know, it struck me as, you know, it you know, I don't know why it kind of just randomly occurred to me while I was in the plane, but it was like, it's kind of crazy that you can do, you know, that all this traveling can happen, right? Like, oh, now I remember why. It's because I took the plane back, even though I took the train too. That's what it was. Well, I went back home once, so when I went home, I took the, or wait, no, that doesn't make sense. When was that? I was taking the train at one point anyway, and I took the plane the other way, I guess. And I was thinking, like, you know, with the train, you know, like, for example, getting from San Diego, where the conference was, to Berkeley takes 20 hours. And like a plane just does that in like an hour and a half. It's like, and you know, I was just in the, I didn't actually do that full trip, but I did I did put it in just to see how hard it was, and it was like, it's kind of crazy that you can just do that, you know. LA. Well, wait. So I actually did the LA to San Diego one. That's only like a few hours. Like I remember I left at like 6 and I got there at like 10. Or no, I left at 6:30 and I think I got there at 10. Um yeah. 737-800, that's the older one. 737-800 I think is the older one, right? Yeah. Yeah, or I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. So but right, it's like 3-4 hours or two. I guess it's more like 2-3 hours, but like I think that's on the tail end of what I'd be willing to do. Yeah. Yeah, anything over 2 hours gets a little, yeah. I mean, so I was actually considering the doing the train ride back. It's just it wasn't direct, and the transfers were at really awkward times. So I was like, so the thing was, the train ride would have taken $100, and I was like, okay, what does it cost to book with Southwest like now? And it was like $200, and it was like, okay, so for double the price, you get there like, I don't know, 10 times faster. like okay, at that point I was like, okay, actually wait, so did you know that as Cal students, or I don't know if alum, I guess I'm not even a student anymore, I wasn't a student when I booked the flight. So yeah, did you know about like the booking agency that the school has? Like this is the thing that I can't remember what it's called, but but there was like, it was like when I booked Southwest like the day of, there was like an immediate like 10-15% discount. Like what was it? Let me look it up real quick. And I'm pretty sure you don't need to be a school employee. Let's see. Cal travel. All right, I should type in Berkeley. I mean, so after that 15% discount, it turned out being like $200. But the point is, yeah, it's just travel.berkeley.edu. Yeah, I mean, you need to use what do you call it? Your CalNet ID, but but the like and so apparently from what my colleagues said, because I went with someone else to the conference. Apparently, they have, it's a proper booking agency, so you can call and then they can sort stuff out for you too. So, so I heard Southwest had a bunch of crap at uh, right. So, but I appreciate the prices. Yeah. Actually, so it's funny. The day that, or the day before all that crap with Southwest happened, I actually got had a flight. Like I landed in LA like the evening as flights started to get canceled. I was like, I just barely got out. Yeah. Yeah. Like, so when Southwest works, I've, I don't know how other people feel about it, but at the very least, I appreciate how fast they run things. I think they kind of have to, or else their schedules don't work. But I do appreciate how fast they run things. Yeah. Usually the flights seem to leave on time. So, yeah. And Southwest is 737. Really? Okay. Am I thinking the right plane? I thought the 737-800 was a bigger one. Am I thinking the wrong kind? Oh, no. Yeah, it's this. It's this thing. Yeah, it's this one, yeah. Okay, I was thinking of something else. On the way out. So what did you have to do then? Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. United. Really, Alaska's. Well, does Alaska operate a path? I mean, if there's a cheaper route, I'll totally use it. Let me just test. Let me just check, for example, randomly if I wanted to do, uh, let's say from Oakland, that's where I usually go to, LAX maybe. Actually, let me do Burbank. That's usually more convenient. How expensive would it be? So the 10th would be... Are they only showing me these because these are the most recent ones, or... It's gonna go ahead with the schedule a little bit. Holy shit, why are there no flights listed? Oops. Hmm? Oh, it's because it's an invalid... Okay. That's so stupid. You can choose a departing flight that's a different day, or that's later than your returning flight. And of course it has trouble showing options, yeah. Okay, so if I wanted to get something randomly at this moment, it's like 400. Southwest. I think Southwest usually runs about that much too. So a round trip for $90. Okay, that's well, actually Southwest I've gotten for 69 usually. If I book far enough in advance. So maybe that's not a fair comparison. Oh wait, no, but that's round trip. That's round trip. That's round trip. Or 90 is round trip, so no, that's cheaper in general, I think, yeah. Oakland to Burbank. Yeah, no. Okay, actually, that's good. I guess that's the thing. I usually do one way because, you know, my parents are like, oh, you know, let us, you know, drive you up, and they're looking more of an excuse to chat longer. But, and you know, I'll let them, but, which is why I usually get one ways. But okay, yeah, okay. So the really urgent ones are like the you know, if I wanted to get a flight like within the week, it's about $100 cheaper, Southwest versus Alaska. But I imagine it probably makes, no one you usually don't have to, you know, buy a ticket that urgently, right? So, but okay, 90 then, $90 or so is probably the target then. Okay. Uh Oh, they did pay for a hotel though. That's good. Yeah. I mean, I guess they kind of have to, right? So, uh, oh, okay. Houston's a United hub. Okay. Okay. So that probably makes more sense in that area then. Okay. A visa run? Sorry, what is a visa run? Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so United, Alaska, or Southwest are the ones to compare then. Okay. Yeah. I looked at Delta before and I don't know, they didn't seem that much cheaper. I don't know. Yeah. Although in 6 months, what is going on in the next 6 months in Japan, really? Um, leave the country they wait, a visa for Taiwan? Do they not? Oh wait, you're in Taiwan, not me. Okay. Okay, yeah, because I was like, wait, doesn't China issue like 10-year visas, like, or not That's not a visa, is it? Isn't it? Is it? Wait. What is the Mayday? Oh yeah, it sounds good. Have fun. See you. What is? Anything? Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. They can't just extend it. Wait, I thought didn't you mention how I feel like you mentioned something like that before, and I thought they were supposed to have sorted that out before you got there. Is that not the case? But yeah, yeah, like how's Taiwan? How's I mean, I don't really know what there is to do over there, so I mean food, right? That's got to be good. Uh but yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you go to Japan, what is there to do? Oh, they can't just like transfer you or anything? That's kind of. Well, I suppose that makes sense because otherwise I can see people kind of abusing it by just constantly transferring back and forth or something, but um what is there to do in Japan in the next 6 months? Um so that's like March to September, right? Um Probably don't want to go during the in September. What is there to do in September in Japan? And I can't think of any events in particular that happen in September in Japan. Hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's annoying. Um, yeah, what is there? Yeah, sorry, I don't know what there is to do besides food. Yeah, like what is there to do in Japan? I feel like a lot of the events are in the early half of the year, early to middle. Well, actually, no. If it's mid August, then you have comic market. Yeah, yeah. Mid August, you have comic market. That's a big one. So you could aim for that, I guess. I mean, I won't. I can't go this year, but yeah, man. Nah, man, it's chill. I mean, if you want to go, I would. I don't know if I'd recommend it actually, um, but you could probably go just to see the swarms of people. Just go like people watching. It's customary to get as high as you can and then no, anyway. Uh yeah, no, comic market's fine. I mean, if I'm being honest, I do want to go, but it's not fun unless you have money to burn. You go back. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, if you stay in Tokyo, well, no, yeah, they'll still stare. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I remember when I was doing study abroad, I when the new group of what do you call it, exchange students came over, I was in charge of kind of looking after one. The dude was from France, I think. I don't remember actually. But I was in charge of showing him around, and it's so awkward getting on and off the train every day. But yeah, yeah, no, yeah, it happens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, if you want to go to comic market, I enjoy it, but it's definitely like the only thing you have to do there is to take pictures of cosplay and buy stuff. So if you don't have a particular interest in either of those things, then it's really just a waste of time. Yeah. So you're taking classes right now, right? It's just in general, right? Like yeah, like how are like how many people are there? Are the classes like big or I mean, I'm assuming since they have a program, there's going to be some degree or decent number of people, but yeah. But yeah. Oh, interesting. So it's really like, what do you call it? It's really elite. I guess that's what it is, right? It's really elite, isn't it? But I mean, no, those tend to be the better classes, though, right? The small size ones. So maybe it's better that way. Well, it sounds like you don't have a lot of free time then, which is kind of sucks. But excuse me. Sorry, let me make some tea. U.S. like diplomats and holy shit, jeez, no pressure. Let's have chamomile. Don't want to be up all day. Yeah, are there like clubs? Have you joined any clubs or anything? It's so dry in here. Yeah, like what's the what do you call it? Yeah, what's there to do? I don't know. Cooking, arts and crafts. Oh, okay. Cooking honestly sounds like a fun one. Although I don't know, does that mean that they get access to I mean, I would join a cooking club if it gave me access to like a kitchen on campus. Hell, I do that at Berkeley too, but there isn't as far as I can tell, but yeah, so yeah. Huh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's like super, it's super strict, I guess. Maybe not strict, but yeah, I guess organized is the right word. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, oh, yeah. Is that? It's still going. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That's good to hear, though. At least. Um. Oh, cool. It's probably kind of a pain to do from over there, but yeah. Hopefully it goes well. Where are you thinking of applying to? So I feel like you mentioned before you actually I don't know, but oh, that's cool. Okay, nice. So I've been meaning to ask, just because I was kind of curious, because I've heard kind of mixed things. So for I kind of assumed that this was in general, but maybe it's not. I had heard that uh, uh, what do you call it? Applying back to Berkeley was what do you call it? Puts you at or you're at a disadvantage if your bachelor's is in Berkeley and then you apply to Berkeley for PhD. Is that not true for history? Because I so from what I've heard, at least in physics and bio here for sure, it's at least for those two majors, it's definitely considered what do you call it, a negative. So, is that not a concern for history, or is it, or maybe you already know someone, so it kind of cancels out. I don't know. Because I've heard people do physics at Berkeley and then stay for their PhD, and usually the successful ones or the only success cases I've heard are ones where really they didn't apply to a PhD program because they necessarily wanted a PhD. They applied to a PhD program because they were needed on the project. Like, so those are the only times I've heard going from Berkeley or staying at Berkeley working out. Whenever whenever you're so critical to a project that you kind of have to continue. And then obviously, as the what do you call it? As the employee, you could obviously work as a post back, but if you want your degree, then they kind of just say, okay, you're necessary, so stay, so we'll pay for it. But those are the only times I've ever heard that work. So I in general, I've heard that it's really difficult. So yeah. Berkeley students work together has mentioned that being done. Oh, really? Okay, so this must be one of those cases where it's just like, it's what do you call it? It's sorted out. Yeah, the only reason why I ask is because I've chatted with some people, and sometimes when I say, yeah, it's they're, I'm not applying to Berkeley, they're like, oh yeah, and they get it, but sometimes they're not sure, and I don't know if there was like some pattern beyond, you're already in. Yeah, okay. Well, that's cool though. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine it'll work out regardless. I will say that housing. Actually, yeah. That's probably what I should ask. Are you sure you want to come back to Berkeley? You sure you want to pay? I found I turned so dude, here's the thing. This is the thing that no one's taught, or no one mentioned, that should have been mentioned to us, after our year in the dorms. There's a grad student mailing list where they list like cheap apartments. I was like, what? So the grad student that I work with now, he's like, he started forwarding me some of these listings, and they're the ones getting all the good apartments. Like, I mean, I know why, of course, but it's like, this is the strat. This is how they find all the cheap apartments so quickly, or this is why the cheap ones get, filled up so quickly. It's because the grad students are sharing them, like, between themselves. And it's like, or sharing the listings between themselves. It's like that's what we needed, man. Oh, I mean, I guess Yale does give off that impression, so. But I guess it's not our apartment built character, yeah. Yeah. I wonder how that apartment is now. Lack of fire. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, so then is an MA not included in the PhD program at Yale? Like, how does that work if someone already at Yale? It is, sorry, it is included. You do your master's then your PhD, or you don't? Yeah. Still have to so you still have to redo it? Then why? Yeah. Sorry, I just kind of assumed that was normal, but I guess it's not necessarily the case to do your master's first. Interesting. Well, that's good to know. Not that I'll ever apply to Yale, but not that because Yale, I don't like Yale, just because, like, yeah, I'm gonna spend my application money on places I'll actually have a chance of getting into. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so is your what do you call it? So I guess you'll be coming back then. Yeah. So I can, so I can yeah. That's interesting though. Shows commitment. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, it's not maybe not fair, but that's understandable. It's kind of extra, but kind of a lot extra, but yeah. Well, that's annoying. Yeah. You're not gonna apply anywhere like in like Europe, or you're you're gonna be done with China after after this upcoming year. Done with Taiwan. Wait, sorry, what is that emote? Okay. Also, does Taiwan not have like a, you know how like Japan has the jet program for bringing in foreigners as well, English teachers essentially? Does Taiwan, or does the Taiwanese government not have a program like that? I was just not for any particular reason. I'm just curious because yeah. Oh right, you wanted to eventually do like a professorship. Is that what it's called? A professorship? I don't know. Or is, I think that's what you said. Is that right? I don't remember. Um. So okay, so it makes more sense to do a U.S. program. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Oh. Well. I mean, well, honestly, I got more things to work. Huh? Oh no worries. I know. I also might have. I don't actually no. I don't have my noise canceling on, so it should be okay. Um. Yeah, no. I was just gonna say. The what was I talking about? Oh, I was just gonna say. I got so many things to worry about before I can even start worrying about PhD programs though. Actually, honestly, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Uh, since I barely passed that last class, my GPA is sitting at like it's like a two something. So, uh, if it was still three, then I think you could barely be like, oh, well, it's not great, but it's barely okay. Um, yeah, exactly. Going below three was really the. I mean, I'm not sure what I could have done, like, besides, yeah. 295. Yeah, if only they could round a little bit. But yeah, right. Most places have a 3.0 minimum, right? So it makes it a little tough. And by little, I mean it was as if it wasn't tough enough as it is, but yeah. Well, yeah. Well, the problem is I can't even get into like master's programs. Yeah. So, this project, yeah, I mean, so it kind of depends. It should, because the direction, or at least from what I've done, I've spoken to a few people now about what kind of programs to apply to. I do think that the eventual direction I'm gonna try, or the direction I'm planning to try applying in the upcoming semester is neuroscience technology development. Uh, So, in that sense, it should be relevant so long as I apply to, or as long as I apply to places that have programs that use optical methods or optical techniques in, like neurobio, neuroscience, technology development. So as long as I do that, then, or as long as I apply to those programs, then at least the resume, or sorry, not the resume, the research and the letters of rec that I'll get will be, well, they'll be on, they'll be exactly what I need. The only problem is my grades, right? So, yeah. Man, if I could get a good GPA at a master's program, then I would have gotten a good GPA in my undergrad. Jokes aside, you're right in that. I think that might just be what I have to do. Of course, what I heard in that case is it might be better to do to go to industry for a few years and then apply to the master's program. So I haven't spoken with a like one of those general advisors. I've really only spoken to professors. And right, yeah. So the project. Oh yeah, and so well, he's a little too nice. He's a little too nice. So his advice really isn't helpful in terms of like chances. He's just like, oh, you'll do great, but really he's just trying to be motivational. But I got to speak with a person that works at Caltech in neuroscience, and he seems to also agree, at least in regards to applying in neuroscience technology development. I think that's really the kind of the specific niche I need to apply in. Otherwise, my application's a little too weak. And the also the consensus that I've heard from them is that as long as there's only one weak point in my application, i.e. my grades, then it seems like the rest of my application can make up for it. The problem is, yeah. So long as I can somehow bypass the minimum GPA requirement, and then my only weak point in my application is my grade, then they say there's a decent chance. But I think part of it's them trying to be what do you call it? They're trying to be motivational. Yeah, right. No, exactly. Well, at least that's what I keep telling them. And again, I don't know if they're trying to be motivational or what, but the consensus that I heard, at least in physics, so this is a little different, right? But is that they just immediately stop giving a shit about your grades after you get in. So long as your prelims, as long as your quals go well and your prelims go well, then they don't seem to care. From what I've been, well, I guess from what I've seen, our group right now has a lot of grad students. So every year there's usually about 3 or 4 people taking their either their prelims or their quals. Sounds like the main issue is so long as you can pass those. Because if you don't pass those, then you have to retake the undergrad courses that those test you on, right? So, yeah, and I we'll see if somewhere, yeah. So, but I do agree that it does seem like the general consensus that I've gotten from everyone is, yeah, it can be worked around, but I think they underestimate how how I think they're just all a little too smart, so they're like, oh, it'll work out, and I'm like, oh, do you really think? Yeah, like maybe for you guys it works out, but for me, I don't know. Yeah. one person did mention the go to industry, and then that industry experience will help get it into a master's program, and then use that to get into a PhD program. There was one person that mentioned that, so which I thought was, I thought it made sense. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Yeah, there. What do you call it? Where did he go actually? Oh, it was Yale. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another post back in our group. That also had a pretty like a 2 point some GPA. He ended up going to Yale for. What is he working on now? Let me see. I still have him on Slack here. Really smart guy. Just not good at classes. Where is he now? Yeah, it's Yale. I don't know what group he's in, but yeah. So I get why they say, oh yeah, it's doable, but it's like, yeah, well, but I'm not as smart as this guy, so like, I keep trying to tell them that, but they're like, ah, don't worry about it. I'm like, you think I'm not gonna worry about this? Like, we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Right, because like, how many of these guys exist, right? So. Yeah. Well, whatever the case is, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. So the postdoc there. So I'm in our lab, like in the physical room. We works next to a different project or another project in the group, and the postdoc there was really insistent about applying, and yeah, so I guess the reason why they said I should apply, and again, I really don't agree with them, but at least from their perspective, the reason why I should have applied this semester and just applied even though my GPA is like below the minimum was, what do you call it? I have the strong letters of rec. I have the research experience, and I also have in extension to the research experience, I do have my name on one paper. So they were like, that should be enough to cover for, or, since those are, they were like, those are all strong enough, so that should cover for the grades. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know about how is Texas really that bad? I thought. Well, actually, what places for neuro are in Texas, actually? I just looked at the coasts, but I definitely didn't really consider, come on, Texas is they got a lot. Well, hell, they have like their fiber deployment is like way more complete than us. So I don't think we can necessarily what do you call it, criticize too much. Sure, the wall has adequate Wi-Fi. Yeah, are there anywhere places in Texas? To be honest, I really don't care about. So so here's the issue with applying. I think, I honestly think I can get by. The real issue I think is that there are so few research groups that are doing or that are using optical methods for like or optical like technology development, right, in neuro. There's just so few just already that it kind of restricts my choices. It's like when I went to the biophysics conference, there was the only group that had a poster was us. Yeah. Yeah, the 2.9 is really the problem, I think. I keep trying to tell them that, but they're like, don't worry about it. I'm like, you guys are, they're too smart. I think they can't relate to like into Berkeley. I got in with 3.1, I think. Yeah. Do you want me to? It might be. Was it 3 point? I think it's 3.1 raw, and then it might have gotten rounded up to like whatever the next is. Probably like 3.1 something, and it got rounded up to somewhere in the same ballpark. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So remember we talked about this. I got accepted to out of all the UCs, I got accepted to Riverside and here. So yeah. Yeah, but I can't get accepted here again because, I'm already did my undergrad here, so maybe not that I can't, but it's extra difficult as if it wasn't hard enough in the first place. I actually did consider Riverside for Neuro because there are a few interesting projects there. Like Davis. Actually, Davis did reject me. But like nah, man, MIT would. I've seen the people at MIT takes. They're very nice people, honestly. But it's rough. And honestly, I really don't care. I don't really. The problem with MIT is that I wasn't super interested in a lot of or most of the at least, and this is the issue. I can't see everything that the groups are working on, right? And I mentioned this and I think people just kind of accept it as like it is what it is type thing. But you can't really see what people are actively working on, right? Unless they've just published a paper like the other day, right? So in addition to the niche that I have in terms of experience already being super like on the edge of like, like really like a small corner of neuro, but so in addition to that, kind of restricting the number of places I really even care to apply to in the first place, they also, it's also kind of an issue of like when papers come out, right? So it's tough. I don't know. Yeah, well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with the diamond, but it's difficult to just find research groups I'm interested in. There's a few, but like a lot of times they've moved on to different different things, or they've moved on to the applications portion. So it's no longer like the tech development, like there's been a lot of times where the where someone will develop a technique, but then the next several papers will be, the application, which is fine. And that's interesting on its own. But then, the grad students that they're looking for are people that are good at, the rest of the stuff, right? Not so much interested in the developing the tool part as much, right? Like they'll still have to do it from what I've seen, but pure soda straw. Did you see that? How that McDonald's got like there was a homeless person that broke into the McDonald's and like I think like can't remember what he did. I think he like set off like a fire extinguisher in the kitchen or something. So that McDonald's was closed for like a solid like month or something. I can't remember. I don't know if it was a month, but I feel like it was a month. Yeah, actually, the hilarious thing is that they renovated that McDonald's renovated and really all they did was add like a little. They got rid of like the trash cans and then they put like a little partition between the cash registers and the rest of the, not a full partition, but like just like a little, what do you call it? Like a little part that sticks out. So it's really annoying now where if you're like waiting for your food or you're waiting to get called, you can't see the little, what do you call it? The monitor that has the, what numbers are being called. So it's like, what was the point of this renovation? It's yeah, I go to that McDonald's a lot, honestly. Probably more than I should, but sometimes you just want like a soft serve. The new place, well, considering I'm only paying, I pay 700 plus utilities, so it usually comes out to about like 850 or so. So considering I'm paying like half of what we used to, I have no complaints. And actually, the best part is, so I'm at school right now, right? Like I'm in the office, so I can just sleep on the couch. Like it's pouring right now, and if I had to guess, my apartment's probably flooded a little bit, but it doesn't matter because I'll just spend the night here. Yeah, which is actually fine because I was planning to get some work done later today, but yeah. Yeah, it's honestly really great. Like if I want to take a shower, I can just go down to the showers. If I want to take a nap, I can just sleep here. I won't get yelled at for sleeping in the. I guess they don't actually yell at people, but they do dislike students sleeping in the reading room downstairs. Um, yeah, so it's I'm chilling. I think that's the phrase. I'm chilling. Yeah. 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 I do have to think about what I'm going to do for my applications though cuz it's already March. where where did the first third of the year go? Or sorry, not first third, first quarter of the year go. I mean, I guess we still have 1 month before we, or a few weeks before we, yeah, before the first quarter is gone. But it's like, yeah, actually, no, like legit, actually create. No, I just feel like it was like New Year's just the other day. Like I still, that's the thing. I still have mochi. I still have mochi from New Year's just in my, in my drawer here. I was gonna eat it for, yeah, exactly. I got it cheap because it was New Year's, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just eat it over time. And like, I haven't touched it at all. It's like, where did all the time go? I don't know. Actually, I have some New Year's noodles too, but like instant noodles, but dried fish ovaries. Is that good? Actually, I got a more important question. Does that last? Like, I mean, hopefully it preserves well, but, um, oh, okay, okay, that's good. That's interesting. Um, yeah, that's cool though. So, so yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess yeah. How are things over there? Hopefully, the university over there doesn't have rando homeless people, stealing bikes all the time. My one of my colleagues, the one that usually sits like right next to me here. Oh, oops, right here, had a bicycle, and I told him to park it in the office. We have space. I was like, park it in the office. It's gonna get stolen. He's like, nah, nah, nah. Yeah, it got stolen. The one day he decided to stay overnight in the office. I got here the morning of, and I was like, where's your bicycle? And he was like, what do you mean? And it's like, I didn't see any bicycles downstairs. And he was like, fuck. I'm like I told you. uh, this was a while ago though. He has a new bicycle. Um, Homeless people are super rare, really. Oh, well, see, that's the difference between having, good, like, what do you call it, like healthcare and not, I guess. Or I don't know if that's an issue of healthcare. I guess that's not really an issue with healthcare, is it? I mean, I suppose it's an issue in terms of healthcare, in terms of getting access to like mental health resources, but anyway. But yeah, that was, yeah, I don't know. It's like I realize part of it's bias because the more recent stuff is stays in the more recent stuff just lingers in your it's more recent, right? But it really feels like every subsequent semester has had more just kind of crazy shit going on, because like even when you were here, right, like there was the black sedan, right, the black sedan that mugged people at gunpoint, like that was happening. But like, here, let me see, how many warn me's have we gotten? Like, so it's not like, I mean, yeah, exactly, black sedan, silver handgun, seriously. It's, let's see, warn me. Oh, see, I didn't even. Oh no, that's different. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there were more, or maybe there were an equal amount. I don't know, but it definitely feels like there have been more kind of severe ones. Or at the very least, there have definitely been more severe ones in succession recently. Because again, the people there were the people mugging people that got caught, and then there was the dude that set himself on fire, and there was the student that got shot, and then the people that were mugging people that ended up getting caught, and then there was the dude that set himself on fire, and then there's the more recent burglaries, right? So, and there are a few more, I think, but often a friend recently impeached from environment engineer with odds more research and strong in life. With dog G, not. Well, again, I think they're being. I think I appreciate your friend, but I think they're being, what do you call it? They're being what do you call it? I don't. It's yeah. I don't know. Actually, actually, the whole COVID thing, just getting rid of a lot. You know how a lot of places got rid of standardized testing after COVID, so that actually kind of worked, like kind of backfired for me, because I can't show improvement by showing a good test grade. So I was gonna do the physics GRE, right? But the previous physics GRE, they didn't even offer anywhere in California. And when I looked it up, most of the programs that I'm applying to won't even accept it, like, or that I would apply to. So it's like, well, shit. Yeah. And yeah, like they just will. It's not optional. They won't even accept it at most places. So it's just hilarious where, I mean, and I shouldn't complain, but it definitely, like, it definitely didn't work out. It really does feel, I don't know why all the places I seem to choose, and I didn't really choose them carefully, so yeah. But right, yeah, it's like yeah, like a good chunk of schools won't take it anymore, like at all. So it's like, yeah. Which, I mean, I can still apply those places, but it really does kind of, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I get where people are coming from, because usually the people that say, "Oh, it'll be okay," like their whole justification is that even if your grades are dog shit, as long as they're passing, then you can get your degree. And if your grades are dog shit, then it means you'll probably be a pretty shit GSI, but you only teach like 1 or 2 years at most, right? So the remaining, like, what, 4 or 5 years of your PhD, you're gonna be cooped up in the lab doing work anyway. So, which is why they're like, don't worry about grades. But I'm like, yeah, but I also don't want to be kicked out in my first year, right? So like, so I think they underestimate how you know how bad grades are. And yeah, I don't blame them. They usually they all have good grades, so it's like, it's probably not really relatable for them. Yeah, and they mean well, so yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I really don't care where I go as long as rules first. I don't think that's actually true, though. I'm pretty sure Caltech has a few super low GPA people, but that's just because, it's because it's 2.9 overall. It's usually, yeah. Go for this your thing. Yeah, Caltech. Well, so another issue is that with Caltech, I don't. Well, actually, I don't know. Does Caltech have any neuro? Well, the Caltech does have neuro, but I don't know if they have like. I think most of their programs are. Um, yeah, who? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm pretty. I think in practice I'm also pretty stupid. But the thing that I have noticed is just and this is mainly I think something I noticed in community college, but a lot of the times you really don't have to be all that smart. You can just kind of get through. There's a lot of things where you can get through just by being the last one standing, right? And and that inherently, yeah. Confucian ideal. Wait, sorry, what? Sorry, I don't get the Confucian thing. Sorry, what does that mean? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I maybe it's worth looking at Caltech, but at least the guy that I talked to from Caltech in the neuro program said, it would be pretty difficult. Um, and also, I can't really think of a lab that I'd want to join at Caltech, and I think that's really the main issue with a lot of the places. I can't, a lot of the labs, I just don't they don't really interest me, to be honest. And that's really the issue. And that's what I hope to fix with going to the biophysics conference the other day. But it still doesn't really change in that it's like a lot of the stuff they're doing is interesting, but it's not really something I'm good at or could feasibly get really good at in, 5 or 6 years, right? And I really think that's the main issue. Because then after that, it's like, okay, if they take the GRE or whatever, then I take the GRE. If they don't, then I, do the whole industry masters and then apply thing. Like, I can, there's ways to figure out all the detailed stuff after that. But if I don't even have like a specific lab I want to join, then it's like, that's pretty much like, that's 100% impossible at that point, as far as I'm aware. Let's say they have no ability, but there's, well, is that, I don't necessarily agree with the Confucian thing then, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely true where, right, the more you know, the less you know, right? Yeah. Yeah. But I guess it's more, I don't even know if that's necessarily true. It's right, because it's really the more you know, the more you know that you don't know, right? You still gain knowledge over time. It's just you also gain the knowledge of lacking knowledge at the same time. And usually the knowledge that you gain that you or the amount of knowledge that you gain regarding how much you don't know usually just scales faster than the amount of knowledge you do gain, right? So that you do know. So it's, yeah, I don't know. There's probably a more elegant way to phrase it, or maybe the elegant way to phrase it is to say it in Chinese. Turns into a way to say I. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's relatable, right? Like, right, exactly. It's just the question. Yeah, right, exactly. This questions just scale faster than the knowledge. Yeah, and I think that's that's not really that I'm fine with. Yeah, that's relatable, honestly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's not. It doesn't fucking help, but or what I mean to say is it doesn't help my situation, but yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I think that really. So I think in terms of someone I went to the I joined some of the grad students today for lunch, and they have their. Actually, I think it's really nice the grad student the cohort for I think the third years. Most of our group is third years, so they apparently they do like they did a cricket game a few weeks ago. They do weekly grad student lunches. I think it's really nice, honestly, like the culture. Um, but I joined them today, and they were talking about grad school and stuff, and so I got asked, when I was gonna apply. Um, Physics grad student cricket game. A lot of shoulders getting, like a lot. We well, actually, so actually, one of the grad students is from Pakistan. The other is from Australia. So they were legit. Everyone else was just yeah. uh, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think so that's the main issue, right? Like so at least when I was talking to them, I not that that's what they said. They said just apply, just in general, but I really think the main issue with my application is if I can't, you know, be very specific about why I want to apply, then well, at the very least it's going to immediately reflect in the quality of the application, right? So at least in my mind, the first order of the first thing to do, the first what do you call it? Yeah, the first thing I need to do is just find candidate labs to join. Whether or not I reach out to them right now, aside, right? If I can't really be very specific about where and why I choose a school, then I don't think. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just like step one in this case. Yeah. Um, Yeah, it's actually kind of nice the cricket game. There were let's see, the last time well I was there were including me there were I think 12 people. So not enough for a full game, obviously, but we were able to do it kind of like a mini game. So yeah, well and right, but like that's the whole problem, right? I mean, like I feel like that kind of applies regardless of whether or not my grades were good or not, right? Like, yeah. And obviously it's a little difficult because if a professor wasn't doing something novel in like in their niche, then how are they going to get funding? so so I realize I'm not going to find a professor that's working on something exactly like what I'm working on right now. But like I honestly didn't expect it to be this hard to find something somewhat similar. So, so, so it is what it is, but all there is to do is just keep trying, right? So it's just life, yeah. But it sounds like you have a lot of candidate places, right? So that's good to hear. And like worst case scenario, I'll beg Holger for another or working for him for another year. try to get another year to extend my plans. Sorry, let me get some more hot water. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh right, it's lunch over there, right? Yeah, totally. Yeah, thanks for popping by. Some food. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, have fun. Have fun. I guess yeah. Enjoy Taiwan. Hopefully the visa thing works out. We'll catch you later. See ya. Let's go to. I should. What was I doing? Oh, you're right. I was looking up this. I'll just watch it. I don't really need to take notes. Caltech. Yeah, see ya. Caltech. Yeah, I wish. I don't remember what this guy was talking about at all. Actually, where's my phone? Oh, 携帯どこだ? Here it is. What was I looking up? なんだっけ? Chase the money so bad. I was going to check something. Oh, weather. Still raining. It's raining worse. Shit. Oh, well, tomorrow at 11, it'll clear up. Okay. Jujika. Ah, お茶できた。っていうかさ、なんでまだ到着してないの？ Hmm. はあ。うん。えっ角度をつけてぶつけると、なんだ。ああ、なるほど。All right. Well, I'm starting to burn out. So everyone that came by, thanks for coming by. Take it. Well, actually, they're all. I think. So Rostini is gone for lunch, and Skullmeat should be asleep. And if he's not, then he really should go to sleep. So I think that's everyone that came, right? So anyway, yeah. Well, if there was anyone lurking, thanks for coming by. Take care, stay safe, have a good evening, and I'll catch everyone later. I'm too tired.